Hi everyone, welcome back. Today is day 18 for me of 100 days of using my prints. I'm doing the 100-day project, and yes, I'm behind, but that's okay. I'm still creating, which is good. So I made some time today. This video was super long. It took me over an hour to do, and I tried my best to cut it down. I am using purple again. Yes, you've inspired me. And I found this face, half a face, and I felt that it would look really good with the purple papers that I have. So I thought, let's use it again and create a different page this time. As usual, I don't have a plan, meaning I don't have the complete outcome in my head. I just know that I'm using purple and I want to use the face. So I'm going to get everything stuck down. Oh, and also, I was supposed to show you the book, but I forgot to bring it in. I remember during, but as well during I forgot. So, let's see if I could get it in here. So this is day 17 that I could not get pics of because the book was still wet. It's dried now and it's lovely. It's beautiful. It's easy to use. It's not slipping and sliding. So that's 17 as promised. Right, so I'm getting my pages ripped and stuck down. This time, I'm trying my best not to think too much because it would have taken a much longer time. So I know these are the colors that I want. These are the pages that I want to use. So I'm just ripping and getting them stuck, and then I'll see what happens after that. What I'm going to do now is just kind of tie all the papers together, kind of bring them together so they wouldn't feel so separate and look so separate. And I'm using the purple to do that. All the colors I'm using today are acrylic. They're different brands. It's just whatever I could get my hands on. Sometimes I like to try different things if I see them and they're cheap. So that's what I use. But usually it's Sargent, Marie's, Deco Art, and acrylic. Those are usually what I find and use. If I find a color that I like, I use it. So I'm just putting it on the edges. I'm using my finger to blur it and smudge it and blend it and just get that color on the page. It looks kind of like a bird, that dark part up there. It's very interesting. Right, so now I still didn't know what to do, so I thought when I don't know what to do, what I normally do is make some marks. So I'm just using a square tip brush to drag it down, drag some across, and just make some marks because I still wasn't sure what to do, but I really needed to create. I was really busy these last couple of days and I could not do much creating. So this is me getting it done. What I've learned is even though, well, for me, when I don't have a plan, once I just sit by my desk and I start, the ideas start to flow after. It's just while you're doing something, an idea will pop into my head and I'll just be like, oh, I could try this, and I would try it, and then another idea would pop in. So creativity creates creativity for me anyway. It really does work. Because sometimes I really do feel like it's, I'm all dried up. But when I just start slapping paint down any old how, sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it takes really long and I hate what I put on a page, but it really does help those juices start flowing again, get unclogged. So again, I'm still just making marks because I'm still not sure what's happening. But I'm using my pinks and purples and, just different shades and getting it down on the page. And I thought, let me add some dots to give it some variety. So I'm still making marks because I'm still kind of clueless, but I'm enjoying this. It's very releasing and relaxing, and it was just really chill. And I loved, even though it took so long, I really loved it. I really, really enjoyed doing this piece, and it turned out so differently than I thought it would. Completely not what I ever expected, like ever. Ever. So I thought, let me come back in with another layer of paper because I don't recall doing that before. So I thought, let's try something new. Get that Mod Podge stuck down. If you don't have Mod Podge, you could use glue. I've had this bottle for years, saving it for different projects, and I don't use it because it's extremely expensive. I don't even want to say how much it cost me. So I decided to use it because I don't want it to dry up on me and get gummy. So I'm using it. But I'm accustomed using regular school glue, so if you have that, use it. Use what you have. Because when this is done, if I can't afford another bottle, I'm going to continue using my school glue. So here I'm putting back in my dots because I wanted it to, remember, I want my page to be very cohesive and look as if it's connected. So that paper kind of disconnected stuff. So I'm reconnecting it by adding the dots over it. So it looks like one piece again. Well, I'm hoping that that's what happened. I'm using my paint marker. This one is by Pointer. And it's acrylic paint as well. And I'm just putting in some little shapes around those circles just because. And now I'm coming in with my charcoal pen. It's a charcoal stick. And my mind was just saying, draw a leaf, Gina. Why not? You haven't done that in a little while. Draw a leaf. So I kind of resisted for a couple of seconds, and then I thought, okay, why not? I'll draw a leaf. And then I drew 2, and I was thinking, should I draw 3? Because, they say the odd numbers look better. If I leave it even, it'll be kind of weird. So I was just trying to figure out where to put it. I was going to put it on the right side, but then I thought the angle might be weird and it'd just be weird. So I did it to the top in the middle. Although I figure if I did it on the right, it actually wouldn't look too bad. And then I started to mess up the leaves, the shape of the leaves. It was just really off. And I was using charcoal and yeah, I took a deep breath and I just said, okay, just keep moving your hand. It's okay. So now I'm painting inside. My goal is to do it so that I could see the background because I like to see the background. And I'm using the lighter shades, the 2 middle shades that I have on my plastic cover there. I'm using that to just paint inside the leaves so that we could actually see that there are leaves there. Then I'm trying that, and now I'm going to do the stems, the veins of the leaves, which actually took me extremely long, and it turned out nothing like what I wanted it to be. It gave me so much trouble. The brush was fat, and it was just chunky and messy, and it started to really annoy me. So I switched out brushes along the way, but before I put the veins in, I'm actually putting in more color on the leaves, which I know it pushed the background even further to the back, but that's fine. So what I'm doing is making the left side a bit darker and making the right side a bit lighter. So I'm just going to take some time now to kind of add the paint and try and grade it into each other so it kind of fades into each other, and it doesn't look like it's left side dark, right side bright. It's supposed to, I wanted it to fade in. So I'm going to spend some time doing that. Right, so here comes the veins now. I was getting ahead of myself before. Here comes the veins, which was problematic. Even the fading gave me a lot of trouble, but it's fine. It's my art journal, so it's fine. Oh, today I'm using the bigger one. It's the 9 by 12 Strathmore and it's 190 GSM. I actually bought a bigger one recently. It's also Strathmore, but it's watercolor. The one that I'm using now is mixed media. See, I switched out my brush there. And this one is 300 GSM. So we went from 190 to 300. So I kind of can't wait to use this. It's kind of exciting. What I do is I come in the room and I look at it and I smile and I feel all happy. Oh, I love stationery and people and, I'm sure, I don't know if anybody could relate, but I love people. I love stationery. I love, 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 love them. So, yeah. It's so pretty. What I'm trying to do is finish this journal first before I go into that one. But I know that if I want to work on something bigger, I might just go into it, without waiting to finish this one. And that's fine. That's fine. So you see, I'm still working on the veins. I keep going back and forth, trying to extend it. I put in some squiggly lines, some tiny, these are what they call capillaries. And now I decided to darken some of the veins. I think it was just the middle one because, I wanted it to stand out and be highlighted instead of just kind of fading into the page. So, and then I'm trying to work on the bottom part there, which I completely ignored before, the stems. So I'm working on that as well. This gave me a lot of trouble, I must say. It was a lot more difficult than I anticipated. And for working on a bigger scale like this, I was surprised and kind of, I don't know. I was surprised at myself. But, I just said, Gina, maybe you just need to steady your hand, take a deep breath, and use the correct brush. That, I don't know. I don't know. And then I added these leaves on the side down below, like if the ones on top aren't leaves or they're flowers. They're not flowers, but, even when I was doing it, see all these adjustments that had to be made. I was thinking, Gina, what are you doing? You're adding leaves on the stem like if the ones on top aren't leaves. It's not a flower. But anyway, it's my journal, so anything could go, right? It's like when you dream, it's your dream, and anything could happen in your dream because it's your dream. So yeah, this is my journal. So I could make anything how I want it. And I encourage you to do the same. Right, so what's happening here now is I felt like this needed a nice fat white outline. Why? Because it felt like it wasn't popping off the page, and in my mind, if I did this, it would pop. So I'm trying to take my time and guide that brush along steadily so that it could look mostly the same size with, and heaviness of the paint and all that, intensity of the paint. That's the plan. And now I am using my Stabilo oil pencil to give it a nice light outline on the inside of that white, but on the edge of the leaf. Because the black should help it to pop even more, right? Because really and truly, I didn't want it to be just so much white. So I'm going to add some water now and just activate the Stabilo oil pencil and try to feather it out just a bit. Just a little bit. So you can still see some of the white around it. So I'm just about done, and I thought the page needed something else. So I'm just using my white Posca paint marker to add some dots here and there. And I instantly loved it. I got so excited, you wouldn't believe. I really, really loved how it looked. And my dilemma was wondering where to put, each clump of dots. I was so excited. Loved it. Then I added those dots on the side, and I felt that I made a boo-boo, and I didn't like it. And of course I couldn't undo it. And I didn't want to add it onto all the leaves. So what I did instead was try to add some splashes using the marker, which actually caused a hot mess, because the splash was like a line, dot, 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 line, dot, 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 and I didn't want those lines. So I just kind of tried to join them and attach them to the other clumps of dots. This page. And I thought I was done. I was thinking, okay. And then I felt like maybe it's too white now. That's how it looked from where I was sitting. So I decided to come in with some black dots. These are much finer. So, it's just a light sprinkling. So you can kind of see it, but not really. It tones it down just a tiny bit. At least that's what I thought. Here I thought I was done. Signing my name, putting the year, and I thought I was done. Move the tape, and when I move the tape, I like to just, lean back and just look at it and see, okay, yes, this is good. I like this, So I'm peeling off my tape, cutting where I need to cut, where it's just refusing to rip off. And then I think, nope, I'm not done. This needs something else. So I go in with my Posca paint pen, and I'm just drawing the same leaves, but just bigger and outside of it. I actually wanted it more outside of it, but it works. It works for me. I didn't want to cover it. I didn't want to exactly outline it. It was just like a scrappy, so it's like 2 sets of leaves. So what I'm doing now is using the bigger, fatter tip marker to give those lines some body, because you could barely see them. So I'm just going over the lines that I just drew, just to make it stand out more. And I felt like, okay, I think we're good there. And I like that a lot better. And it still felt empty, so I'm just coming to draw these little swirly things. I'm not thinking, I'm just doing my hand very quickly, because I don't want to hesitate and think too much. And that's basically it. I decided to use the black marker to just go over those. And yeah, so I'm finally done now. So I want to thank you so much for watching, for sticking it out with me for so long. This video is just ridiculous. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you all so much. I'm looking forward to your comments as per usual. Bye!